Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Sparkle English, where I help you improve your level of English. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about double negatives in English. Are they correct? And if not, how can we correct them? At the end of this lesson, there will be a short quiz. So first of all, what are double negatives? Double negatives occur when two forms of negation are used in the same sentence. In standard English, double negatives are considered grammatically incorrect. In English, if you use a double negative, it creates sentences with a meaning opposite to what is intended. For example, in Spanish, you can use double negatives. It's grammatically correct. And people use double negatives all the time. But in English, it's incorrect. For example, I don't need no help. In English, this means I do need help. I don't need no help. I need some help. But I want to say I don't need any help. We have two negatives in this sentence, don't and no. And in English, they cancel each other out. Another example, she hasn't seen nobody today. Again, in English, this creates a sentence with the opposite meaning. If you say, I haven't seen nobody, it means you have seen somebody. And this can cause confusion in English. So let's talk a little more about how double negatives can cause confusion. So as I said before, double negatives can change the intended meaning of a sentence to the opposite. And instead of conveying a negative meaning, you'll convey a positive meaning. So for example, she won't eat no vegetables. This sentence written like this actually means that she will eat vegetables. My grandpa doesn't trust nobody actually means my grandpa trusts somebody. So we need to fix these so our intended meaning is clear. And how do we do this? Well, first, you need to know how to identify a double negative. And double negatives appear when negatives are used together unnecessarily. So let's look at this chart. And here are some examples of common double negatives. There can be negative adverbs, such as not or never, negative pronouns, such as nobody, no one, nothing, negative determiners, no, none, neither, used with nor, and we may also have negative auxiliary verbs, such as doesn't, don't, isn't, aren't, wasn't, or weren't, etc. So you must be careful to make sure the negatives used in your sentence do not cancel each other out. So, for example, nobody didn't finish the assignment. Here we have nobody, which is a negative pronoun, and didn't. These cancel each other out. Another example, I can't find no pencils in the drawer. We have can't and no, and those cancel each other out. Jane never said nothing about her date. You see, we have two negatives, never and nothing. So once you identify these negatives, now we can work on correcting them so your intended meaning with this sentence is clear. So how can we correct these double negatives? To correct a double negative, you can remove one of the negative elements, or sometimes you can replace it with a positive one. So here are some examples of positive replacements: ever, always, somebody, someone, something, any, anything, anybody, either or, does, do, is, are, was, were, etc. So these are some examples of words you can use to replace these negative words. And sometimes you don't even need to use these, you just need to remove one of the negative elements. So let's try to correct these three sentences. Now, before we continue, if you're enjoying this lesson, I encourage you to subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out, and so you can continue improving your English grammar and writing skills. Let's start with the first one. Instead of saying nobody didn't finish the assignment, you can say nobody finished the assignment. So we're replacing didn't finish with finished. And now our meaning is clear. Now with all of these, there are multiple ways you can correct the double negative. With the second example, I can't find no pencils in the drawer can be changed to I can't find any pencils in the drawer. Or you could just say I can't find pencils in the drawer without any. Both would be correct. In the third example, Jane never said nothing about her date. You could remove never. Jane said nothing about her date. Or Jane never said anything about her date. Both of those would be correct. So are double negatives always incorrect? Well, let's talk about some mistakes and exceptions with double negatives. So some dialects and informal English use double negatives for emphasis. There are some English-speaking regions where it is common to use double negatives, and it's not considered incorrect. However, if you are writing a formal essay or an article or a business email, it is best to avoid using double negatives because it is not accepted in standard grammar. So it's really important for you to differentiate between intentional use of double negatives versus an actual mistake. And double negatives in literature and music lyrics can be stylistic choices, and these are not considered errors. Let's look at some song examples. I can't get no satisfaction. These are some lyrics by the Rolling Stones. Well, this is a double negative. We have can't and no. However, if these lyrics were changed to I can't get any satisfaction, it doesn't have the same ring to it. It doesn't sound as good. So these lyrics are intentional because it sounds better. It's a stylistic choice. Another example, which is my favorite song ever, Ain't No Mountain High Enough by Marvin Gaye. Here we have a double negative, ain't and no. Ain't is slang for isn't or aren't. But if this song was changed to there isn't any mountain high enough, that would not sound nearly as good. Ain't no mountain high enough sounds catchy. It sounds great. So this is an intentional choice, and it's not an error. So now it's time for our quiz. There are 8 sentences in total. You must identify the double negatives and correct any double negatives that must be corrected. Let's begin. Number 1. The heartbroken woman couldn't find no reason to stay with him. Number 2. I didn't have no time to play with my video games this weekend. Number 3. The teenagers never do nothing during vacations. Number 4. My uncle rarely eats any junk food. Number 5. The movie was neither entertaining nor original. Number 6. You haven't seen nothing yet. Number 7. Ain't No Sunshine is one of my favorite songs. And finally, number 8. Just because I'm quiet doesn't mean I don't have an opinion. Okay, let's correct these together. Number 1 is incorrect. It is a double negative. We need to change no to any. The heartbroken woman couldn't find any reason to stay with him. Number 2 is also a double negative. I didn't have no time to play with my video games. So we need to change no to any, or just remove it. I didn't have time to play with my video games. Now, number 3 is also a double negative. So we need to change nothing to anything. The teenagers never do anything during vacations. Or you could remove never. The teenagers do nothing during vacations. What about number 4? My uncle rarely eats any junk food. So number 4 is correct. This is not a double negative. We're saying that My uncle almost never eats any junk food. Now, what about number 5? And this one might be confusing. We have neither and nor. However, this sentence is correct as it is because neither and nor are used together to show that both parts of the statement are negative. The movie was not entertaining and it was not original. The construction neither and nor is a negative correlative conjunction, and these words are typically used together. Now, what about number 6? You haven't seen nothing yet. This is a double negative, so we're going to correct it. Now, again, remember that sometimes people use double negatives intentionally for emphasis. I have heard people say, you haven't seen nothing yet. And they're saying that to emphasize nothing. But grammatically, it should be changed to anything. You haven't seen anything yet. Now, number 7. Number 7 is correct as it is. And that's because we do have a double negative. Ain't no sunshine. This is a double negative. However, this is a title of a very popular song. And this is intentional. Now, the last one is my most difficult one. Is this sentence correct? Yes, this sentence is correct as it is. So this sentence does contain two negatives, but they are not used together to negate one thing. The negatives are used in different parts of the sentence. Let's read the sentence again. Just because I'm quiet doesn't mean I don't have an opinion. What this person is trying to say in this sentence is that, yes, I am quiet, but I do have an opinion. Don't assume I don't have an opinion because I'm quiet. So they are intentionally using two negative words, but doesn't and don't are used in different parts of the sentence. They're not working together to talk about one thing. I'm saying that I am quiet, but I still have an opinion. Don't assume that I don't. I hope that makes sense to you. It was my tricky question. If you want further clarification, feel free to ask me in the comment section of this video. Let me know in the comment section how many you got correct out of 8. Thank you once again for watching, and make sure to subscribe to Sparkle English for more English lessons on how to improve your writing skills, your grammar skills, your spelling skills, and much more. I'll see you all in my next lesson.